A lot of the time, the urge to suddenly eat really highly processed sugary foods, aka binging on these foods, is the result of a sudden dip in blood sugar. This alerts to the brain that we quickly need to eat something sugary fast to bring that blood sugar back up, which of course then you do eat some of those more sugary foods and it causes more and more of those cravings. So it's a cycle that you want to be able to break, which is why it's important to know the types of foods that help to stabilize blood sugar level and that you can eat instead when that urge comes. So today I'm sharing 32 high protein, quick and easy snack idea options that taste great and help to avoid the urge to snack on sugary sweet treats. Let's dive into it. My name's Autumn. I'm a certified clinical nutritionist with my master's nutrition human performance, and today's video is sponsored by Kettle & Fire. More on them in a bit. Okay, the first is skyr with protein powder and berries. So protein is the most important thing to actually eat enough of when you are trying to stabilize blood sugar level and prevent sugar cravings. So when that craving suddenly hits, it is so important to make sure that whatever you reach for is something that is going to be high in quality protein. Skyr is similar to Greek yogurt, but it's actually even higher in protein. It's my favorite yogurt right now, and you can cut through some of that more sour flavor that zero sugar skyr will have by adding in a scoop of vanilla protein powder. So I'll put in a scoop of my vanilla protein powder into skyr, stir it up, and it makes it taste like a vanilla-y yogurt. It is so good. Put some berries on there so you get a little bit of that sweet hit, but you get the protein in there too. Okay, number 2, sliced cucumber and carrots with tatziki. I never know if I'm actually saying it right, but tatziki, and you can let me know in the comments that I'm definitely saying it wrong, is made with Greek yogurt, which is going to be high in protein as well. It's more of a savory dip, and you can quickly make a really simple one with Greek yogurt, lemon juice, olive oil, maybe a little bit of mint, and then just a pinch of salt. Stir that up and you can dip it with some cucumber and carrots for a really delicious snack. Okay, number 3 is a mini caprese salad. This is so simple and it is so refreshing, but it also feels like really fancy. You just get those little mozzarella balls that you find at the grocery store, and then you can pick out some tomatoes, maybe just like some grape or cherry tomatoes, get some fresh basil and put some balsamic and olive oil on top. It is so good and surprisingly filling. Okay, number 4 is roasted and spiced chickpeas. Now, chickpeas are not the highest quality protein, but from a plant-based source, it is one of the better options. And when you roast chickpeas in the oven with some seasonings like paprika and cayenne and salt and olive oil, it is so good. Okay, number 5 is a protein mug cake. Now, this gives you the feeling of having something sweet, but makes you feel really full and satisfied, so you don't want to eat more and more and more of those other treat items. There's a bunch of different ways that you can make a mug cake. I have a pumpkin spice mug cake recipe. I will have it linked down in the description below. It is so good. Plus it has 26 grams of protein per serving, so it's like going to make you feel really satisfied. Okay, number 6 is a bone broth soup. So bone broth is really rich in collagen, and collagen helps to boost our satiety. And you can make it yourself or you can buy pre-made options. And I love the pre-made options by today's sponsor, Kettle & Fire. Kettle & Fire is an amazing bone broth company that slowly simmers bones from grass-fed cows in order to pull out as much collagen as possible. I love that Kettle & Fire is a really high quality bone broth that I can just easily grab out of my pantry and add to any type of recipe or meal that I'm having. And it instantly bumps up the collagen content of my meal. And although you can get their original bone broth, which can be added into soups or stews or chilies, I also recently have really liked some of their soup options, especially when in a pinch. So they have pre-made soups that are made with their bone broth, like their lentil and vegetable or chicken and ancient grain. So especially if you do feel like you need a little something and help prevent some of those sugar cravings, you can reach for one of Kettle & Fire's containers of their bone broth soups, heat it up and have something ready in minutes. Kettle & Fire tastes great. It's a great source of whole food collagen, and I love the quality of ingredients that they use. And Kettle & Fire is super generous, and they're offering my community 20% off your bone broth purchase when you use my code AUTUMNBAITS at checkout. So make sure you stock up, and I'll have the link down in the description below. Okay, number 7 is ricotta with lemon zest and flax crackers. Now, ricotta cheese is not as high as cottage cheese, so if you really wanted to up the protein even further, you could swap out the ricotta for cottage cheese, but it is a nice switch up to use ricotta on the occasion. And just add in some lemon zest on there to really brighten it up, maybe some black pepper if you want, and then dip in flax crackers, which is made pretty much entirely from flax seeds, so it's low glycemic load and some good quality fiber in there too. Okay, number 8 are egg bites. These have gotten so popular that you can find them pretty much at any grocery store and obviously every single Starbucks. In fact, if I'm at the airport and I'm traveling, I usually will grab one of their egg bites if I don't have anything on me, because their egg bites do have 19 grams of protein per serving. Okay, number 9 is peaches and cottage cheese. Now, when it's in season, slice up some peaches and put it in cottage cheese, and oh my gosh, it is so good and obviously high in protein. Okay, number 10 is brie cheese with apples. This is one of my all-time favorites. Like, you can just get brie cheese and spread it on different thinly sliced cuts of apple. Or if you have like a couple extra minutes, you can bake the brie in the oven so it gets nice and melty and then dip the apples in. Either way, you can't go wrong. Okay, number 11 is salami with manchego. Combined, both of these will give you a nice little protein boost as well as some high quality fat to boost your satiety, and it just tastes great. You can really use any type of harder cheese, but I love manchego. Okay, number 12 is beef jerky with pistachios and almonds. Now, beef jerky is so packed with protein. 1 ounce has 11 grams of protein, which is pretty mind-blowing. And it is so shelf stable. So you can just keep it in your bag if you are in a pinch and you need a little something to get you by. Plus adding the pistachios and almonds adds a high quality source of fat as well. Okay, number 13 is sardines. You either love them or hate them, but either way, it's something that you can keep in your pantry and just always have on you for a really fast and easy source of protein, plus an incredible source of anti-inflammatory omega-3 fats. And you could even eat some with those flax crackers too. Okay, number 14 is chia pudding with protein powder. Now, chia pudding on its own, like if you just make it with almond milk or coconut milk, is not going to have any complete protein. So that's why it's really important to add in a scoop or 2 of a protein powder. And if you want to speed up the process of making chia pudding, heat up the milk or nut milk that you're using first, and then pour it over the chia seeds, stir that in, then stir in the protein powder, and the warmed up milk helps the chia seeds to puff up a lot faster. Okay, number 15 is a really fast and easy protein smoothie. My favorite lately has been using whole milk with a half a banana, my vanilla protein powder, a tablespoon of peanut butter, and like 1 or 2 tablespoons of cacao nibs. It's like a banana-y chocolate chip milkshake, so good. Plus cacao nibs are actually also very high in fiber too. Okay, number 16 is a tempeh bacon lettuce wrap. So tempeh is made from fermented soybeans, and if you are plant-based, I do recommend using tempeh over tofu because the fermentation helps to break down the anti-nutrients. And this is actually something very similar to what I used to get in college, where you'd make like a BLT but with tempeh instead, and you can just make it a lettuce wrap and cut out the bread if you want to keep it low glycemic load. So just wrap up in lettuce, some tempeh, some avocado, maybe some red onion and tomato. It is so crunchy and so delicious. In fact, such a major throwback. That is something that my husband Trevor and I used to get all the time after school and college from our local food co-op. Okay, number 17 are jalapeno cheddar pork rinds. These are my all-time favorite pork rinds. And pork rinds are surprisingly healthier than you might think. They got a bad reputation for a long time, but they're actually very rich in an important amino acid called glycine. And especially when you're pregnant, like I am right now, it is very important to make sure you're getting enough glycine. It's used for a lot of structural tissues within your skin. Plus the jalapeno cheddar pork rinds from the brand 4505, you don't want to miss those. Okay, number 18 is a chickpea and kidney bean salad. This is actually from my 21-day intermittent fasting program. And I feel like it's one of those sleeper recipes that everybody forgets about until you make it. And then you're like, wow, why don't I make this every single day? It is so good. But as I mentioned, chickpeas are one of the better sources of protein if you are plant-based. And you combine those chickpeas with some kidney beans, as well as some sunflower seeds, some hemp seeds, some avocado, apple cider vinegar, some salt, and olive oil. Oh my gosh. It's so simple, so delicious. Definitely want to try that out. And if you want to try out the 21-day intermittent fasting program and all those other recipes, I will have it pop up right here somewhere. Number 19 is tuna salad with cucumber. We always have cans of tuna in our pantry. Like we just get bulk amounts of canned tuna because it's something that you can just make a quick lunch or a quick snack in a pinch. Just make sure to use real mayo, preferably from avocado oil and not from soybean oil. There's a couple different brands that do it. I think Primal Kitchens has an avocado oil mayo. Okay, number 20 is hummus and carrots. Again, hummus is made from chickpeas, so it's not the highest protein source, but from a plant-based perspective, it's one of the better options. And what I like about using hummus is, especially if you're like on a car trip and you just need to grab something really quickly from the grocery store, just to get a little food in to hold you over, you can pretty much always find some hummus and a bag of baby carrots that you can just eat while even driving. Okay, number 21 is cheesy flatbread. So I love the brand Outer Isle for like their bread options because it's made just from cauliflower, some Parmesan, as well as eggs. So it's inherently going to contain about 10 grams of protein from complete sources per serving. And then you can just melt some mozzarella on there. If you want to make it like a pizza, you can put a little tomato sauce on there too. Also very good. Okay, number 22 is avocado and hard-boiled egg salad. Just take avocado and cube it up, and then also cube up some hard-boiled egg and just toss it together, and you can add stuff like some red onions, or you can put some paprika. If you want to put some Dijon in there, you can as well, or even a little bit of mayo. So a bunch of different ways to do it, but you can just even keep it really simple and combine those 2 ingredients together. Okay, number 23 is cottage cheese with black pepper. This is my mom's all-time favorite lunch. Hi, Mom. Especially if you aren't a fan of the sweet options for cottage cheese, this is more of a savory option. So you just take cottage cheese and then you just literally sprinkle on some black pepper and you call it a day. Okay, number 24 is bell pepper with ricotta cheese and toasted pumpkin seeds. Just dip the bell pepper in the ricotta cheese with the pumpkin seeds sprinkled on top. So you get like a little bit of crunch, you get that creaminess, and you get a hit of protein and magnesium in there too. All around a tasty way to help prevent hunger. Okay, number 25 is a salmon wrap. So the way that you do this very fast and easy while also being very high in protein is you take one of those outer aisle wraps that I mentioned earlier or like a similar brand. Take some canned tuna or like one of those packets of tuna and you put it in with some cucumber, some red onion, some lettuce, roll it up, and you have yourself a delicious lunch / high protein snack. Okay, number 26 is watermelon with grilled halloumi. Halloumi is a grillable cheese, so it's a great vegetarian alternative to meat, and it's something that can be whipped up in literally 2 minutes because you do not want to grill halloumi for longer than like a minute or two on each side. Just quickly grill up some halloumi, cut it into cubes, and pair it with some cubed up watermelon. My mouth is literally watering thinking about it right now. It's also great when you add in fresh herbs like some mint in there. Definitely test it out. Okay, number 27 is deviled eggs with wasabi. I actually recently did this for my Halloween like charcuterie board post. It's a really fun spicy spin on just traditional deviled eggs. I'll have that recipe in that blog post linked down below. Okay, number 28 is kefir and berries. Kefir is a fermented milk product, so it's going to be lower in lactose but still have about the same amount of protein as just a regular cup of milk. So typically it's about 8 grams of protein per cup. Make sure to opt for the unsweetened kefir, and you can pair that with a handful of raspberries for a low sugar option too. Okay, number 29 is a protein waffle. I love pre-making a ton of protein waffles and then you can just keep them in the freezer and then just pop it in the toaster whenever you want one ready. I have a full video where I show how I make like 30 something protein waffles for the entire week. If you want that recipe, I will have it linked up here as well. Okay, number 30 is string cheese dipped in marinara sauce. This is something that I first discovered at about the age of 13. Just take some leftover marinara sauce or leftover pizza sauce and dip in string cheese. You'll feel like a little kid again. Okay, number 31 is Greek yogurt with cacao powder stirred in plus some blueberries. This is actually something I've been having for breakfast a lot lately, but I'll also add some walnuts on top too. Cacao does provide that chocolatey kind of bitter flavor, but it also helps to bump up the fiber content quite a bit. Okay, number 32 is cottage cheese with a raspberry compote. Just take frozen raspberries and heat it up over the stovetop until it gets like nice and mushy. Pour that over some cottage cheese and it looks so fancy, but it's so simple and so delicious. Now, protein waffles are something that I had pretty much every single day during my 20-pound postpartum weight loss journey. So if you want that recipe, I'll have it linked right up here. Also, if you're new to my channel and you love this science-backed information, make sure you subscribe right here. Come out new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in my next video.